Please all rise and remain standing until all members of the academic procession are seated. Please be seated. I now call on the Head of Faculty of Engineering and Science, Mr. Michael Loftus, to commence this afternoon's conferring ceremony.
Thank you, Rory. Graduates of CIT, members of the governing body, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this meeting at which awards of Cork Institute of Technology will be conferred on students of this institute. Today is a special day for all in attendance. For our new graduates, it marks a milestone in your lives and we congratulate you on your achievements. Some of you will continue into further studies or research. Many of you will enter the world of work. Some of you will start your own businesses and some will take time to explore the world. Whichever pathway you choose, we're confident you'll be well prepared and we wish you every success in the future. For the supporters of our graduates, we thank you for staying the course with them, and we very much hope that you feel a deep sense of fulfillment on this day. You absolutely deserve to. For our staff members, we're deeply grateful for your dedication to the art of teaching and learning, and also to the students with whom you've engaged tirelessly with a view to assisting their journey to today's ceremony. Sincere thanks to you all. For science, technology, engineering and maths graduates, the world is your oyster currently. 96% of our graduates are in good quality employment or further studies within 9 months of graduating. And industry locally is crying out for more graduates of the type that are graduating here today. We've organised a number of open days in CIT to encourage the next generation of talented students to follow in your footsteps. We've also created a new initiative with industry, STEMsouthwest.ie, to provide girls and boys with insights into the type of fantastic careers that are now available. We'd be delighted if you would pass on the word and encourage the next generation to follow in your footsteps through these halls and onto successful careers in the future. I'll finish on that note and introduce our guests now. On the front platform, on my immediate left, Mr. Tim Hogan, Head of School of Science and Informatics in CIT. On my immediate right, Dr. Barry O'Connor, President of CIT. And on my far right, Dr. Antonia Hay, Registrar and Vice President for Academic Affairs in CIT. Our guests on the rear platform are members of the governing body and members of the academic staff of CIT. I call upon Dr. Barry O'Connor, the President of the Institute, to confer awards on the learners presented by the Institute for that purpose.
Thank you very much, Michael. Mr. Fight Rove Glair, we did our best with the weather, but look, we can only do so much. We're depending on the graduates now to sort out global warming and maybe a small bit warmer in Cork and less rain, but that's down the line. So, you're all very welcome here this afternoon and to get the formal business underway, and it is quite formal. The powers we have, as every institute has in the country and university, is given to us under an act of Dáil Éireann. So we commence by doing what we call the Padder, as Gaeilge, and then we do it as Béarla, or in English. That's the other version of it. And then we'll get proceedings underway. So so we do the formal piece first here. So Har County Institute of the Harva and Odrash, a hamlet to receive the rare Alta Quega tree, Dactum Halichti, August Darvo Kaliachta, Edicus August Leont, then Rian Gavil Doyog, Brunham, Davachini, and Olimori, the Institute at Tartaresh on Kaidan and a Kinnock, I can to Odrashin of Wintermach. Agus Iram, go for the Folimori Shin in Malahar, Honabar, Evron Orha, go for a mule. So, on behalf of the Institute and by virtue of the authority delegated to it under Section 53 of the Qualifications and Quality Assurance Education and Training Act 2012, I hereby confer awards on the learners of the Institute who have achieved the standard determined by the authority for those awards. And I ask that those learners be presented to me so that I may formally present them with their parchment.
I call upon Mr. Tim Hogan, Head of School of Science and Informatics, to commence the conferring in his school.
The School of Science and Informatics consists of the Department of Biological Sciences, the Department of Computer Science, the Department of Mathematics, and the Department of Physical Sciences. I call upon Dr. Donagh O'Mahony, Head of the Department of Physical Sciences, to present the candidates from his department. Awards will be made in respect of the following programs in the department: Higher Certificate in Science in Industrial Measurement and Control, Bachelor of Science in Analytic and Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Bachelor of Science in Applied Physics and Instrumentation, Bachelor of Science Honours in Analytical Chemistry with Quality Assurance, Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Physics and Instrumentation, Bachelor of Science Honours in Environmental Science and Sustainable Technology, Bachelor of Science Honours in Instrument Engineering, Doctor of Philosophy.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Higher Certificate in Science in Industrial Measurement and Control. And I would request you to present their parchment to them. Tully Call in abstentia. Jason William Keneally in abstentia. Brian Murphy in abstentia. Darren O'Halloran in abstentia. Brian Richard Stack in abstentia. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science in Analytical and Pharmaceutical Chemistry. And I would request you to present their parchment to them. James Patrick Connolly. Philippos Christalides. Brian Lynch. Nicole Elizabeth Meany. Eric Jack O'Brien in absentia. Owen Patrick Rasmussen. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science in Analytical and Pharmaceutical Chemistry please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science in Applied Physics and Instrumentation. And I would request you to present their parchment to them. Michael Brendan Fennell. Paul Christopher Gainey. Brian Thomas Hayes. Kenneth Aidan Hurley. Peter Andrew Keane. Brian John Long. Robert McCarthy. Dennis Murphy in absentia. Philip Noonan. Patrick O'Brien. Lawrence Shane O'Donovan. Pierce Gerard O'Dwyer. And David O'Mahony. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science in Applied Physics and Instrumentation please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Analytical Chemistry with Quality Assurance. And I would request you to present their parchment to them. Zheng Yi Sendi Shen. Ross Corns. Nicola Cronin. Diane Marie Gutierrez. Christopher Hegarty. Rory James Morrison. Aoife Marie Murnan. Patrick Anthony O'Driscoll. Marcel van Aschereden. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Analytical Chemistry with Quality Assurance please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Physics and Instrumentation, and I would request you to present their parchment to them. Niall Beakey. Aaron Christopher Carroll. Stephen Paul Collins in absentia. James Michael Desmond. Sri Kumar Suryakant Ingale in abstentia. Rory O'Gorman in abstentia. Gemma Palmer. David John Sweeney in abstentia. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Physics and Instrumentation please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Environmental Science and Sustainable Technology, and I would request you to present their parchment to them. Derek Collin. Sarah O'Connor in abstentia. Padraig O'Donoghue. Jesse Adam Owen Sheehan. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Environmental Science and Sustainable Technology please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Physical Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Instrument Engineering, and I would request you to present their parchment to them. Tig Patrick Gilroy. Fintan Edward McCarthy. Kieran Patrick Murphy. Luke Matthew Noonan. Owen Timothy O'Brien. Aidan James O'Neill. Tom Power. Tristan William Roach. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Instrument Engineering please stand to receive their ovation? I call on the President, Dr. Barry O'Connor, to initiate the procedure for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in the Department of Physical Sciences. Juan Salvador Dominguez Morales.
Good Margaret, Michael. Antonia, Michele. The PhD is the highest award that you can get from any institution or university, so after all the years of hard work, Juan will be given his own special ceremony, which is standard. So we begin as Gaeilge, so our county institute agus the harfe an udrash harmle to the radqueg tree dachtum chailiachti agus darvo chailiachta idicus lunt. Den vliegen gavi is doig brunim and chem doctor la fjorsunacht. Juan Salvador Dominguez Morales. We don't have it in Spanish, but we can do it in English. On behalf of the Institute, and by virtue of the authority delegated to it under Section 53 of the Qualifications and Quality Assurance Education and Training Act of 2012, I hereby confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Juan Salvador Dominguez Morales.
I have the honour to present Juan Salvador Dominguez Morales for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Tomas Ochalski and Dr. David Williams had the privilege of being Juan's supervisors. The title of Juan's PhD thesis is Optical Properties of 3.5 nanowire nanopillar lasers grown on silicon. Juan Salvador Dominguez Morales graduated in physics at the University of Granada in Spain in 2010 and in electronic engineering in 2014 before coming to Cork to study for a doctorate in physics with CIT's Centre for Advanced Photonics and Process Analysis, CAPA. His PhD studies involved multiple international collaborations with the University of California in Los Angeles, Sapienza Università de Roma, and the technical universities of Munich and Wien. He also undertook a secondment at the University of Science and Technology of Beijing under the Marie Sklodowsky-Curie Fellowship Program. Dr. Morales was supervised by Dr. Tomasz Ochalski of the Kappa Research Group at CIT. His internal examiner was Dr. Natalia Rebrova of CIT, and the external examiner was Professor Peter Bergman, Linköping University in Sweden. Juan's doctorate work focused on developing our understanding of the optical performance of advanced nanostructured materials known as nanowires and nanopillars for applications such as optically coherent light sources in emerging high-speed data communications. In his dissertation, Juan reported on the emission properties of 3.5 nanolasers with pump excitation powers above and below the lasing threshold using CAPA's advanced temperature-dependent photoluminescence spectroscopy facilities at the Tyndall National Institute. Dr. Morales identified that carrier decay lifetime and spectral intensity increased with excitation power, suggesting a transition from spontaneous to stimulated light emission. He also reported a spectral shift towards longer wavelength of the longitudinal modes for temperatures below 225 Kelvin, caused by the increment of the material refractive index during the optoelectronic recombination process. Finally, analysis of the physical properties of the lasing modes showed that the Fabry-Perot resonance-based helical modes are propagating inside indium gallium arsenide nanopillars, while multiple longitudinal and transverse modes are resonating inside gallium arsenide AlGaAs nanowires. Juan's work was published in the American Chemical Society's peer-reviewed scientific journal Nanoletters and in the proceedings of several international conferences. We wish Juan all the best for his future career in this exciting area.
I call upon Dr. Brendan O'Connell, Head of Department of Biological Sciences, to present the candidates from his department. Awards would be made in respect of the following programs in this department: Bachelor of Science in Applied Biosciences and Biotechnology, Bachelor of Science in Food and Health Science, Bachelor of Science Honours in Herbal Science, Bachelor of Science Honours in Nutrition and Health Science, Bachelor of Science Honours in Pharmaceutical Biotechnology, Doctor of Philosophy.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Biological Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science in Applied Biosciences and Biotechnology. And I would request you to present their parchments to them. Jessica Catherine Bransfield, in absentia. Rachel Ellen Byrne. Kirsten Emer Mary Kokabana. Dylan Considine, in absentia. Stephen Patrick Doyle, in absentia. Jack David English, in absentia. Larkin James Gainey, in absentia. Saoirse Teresa Healy, in absentia. Graham Lewis Kelleher, in absentia. Michele Elizabeth Kyler, in absentia. Heather Jane Leahy, in absentia. Thomas Christopher McLaughlin. Gavin John Murray, in absentia. Rachel O'Callaghan, in absentia. Shane O'Dwyer, in absentia. Caitlin O'Grady. Dalton Henry O'Shaughnessy, in absentia. Eamon Patrick Power, in absentia. Gabrielle Rimsele, in absentia. Maria Kyra Tabuna. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science in Applied Biosciences and Biotechnology please stand to receive their ovation. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Biological Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science in Food and Health Science. And I would request you to present their parchments to them. Alison Audrey Birmingham, in absentia. Amy Lee Cahl. Leanne Chelsea Crowley, in absentia. Ciara Lenihan. Barry Richard O'Driscoll. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science in Food and Health Science please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Biological Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Herbal Science. And I would request you to present our parchments to them. Ferga Ann Hamilton. Nadu Arwida Lawson Dute. Laura Marie O'Brien. Valentina Putkelite. Clemente Charles Marie Rumegu, in absentia. Ruth Okinkanye Smith. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Herbal Science please stand to receive their ovation? President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Biological Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Nutrition and Health Science, and I would request you to present their parchment to them. Jack Barrett. Aoife Louise Brennan. Lauren Breed Buckley. Cathal William Burns. Claire Marie Cahl. Niamh Maggie Casey. Ruth Ann Cleary. Nicola Kira Coffey. Sinead Ann Grace Coleman. Fiona Jerry Cooney. Clodagh Philomena Cochrane. Ruth Ann Cox. Saoirse Niamh Creedon. Daniel John Crowley. Maeve Daly in absentia. Rachel Catherine Desmond in absentia. Ellen Mary Duggan. Orla Duggan. Emer Fitzsimons Ryan. Adam Eamon Flynn. Michele Marie Gilbert. Donica Michael Griffin. Michele Griffin. Dern Elizabeth Harding. Aisling Louise Harrington. Stephanie Mary Hartnett. Cuiva Michelle Hearn in absentia. Padraig Sean Henshaw. Nicole Marie Holland. Dylan Patrick Horgan. Paul Anthony Carney. Kyle Patrick Kelleher Anderson in absentia. Lisa Marie Kelleher. Orla Teresa Kelly. Shauna Catherine Kelly. Robert James Keneally. Patrick John Lorden. Christine Lynch. Aidan Patrick McCarthy. Carrie Marie McCarthy. Michele Jacqueline McCarthy. Aoife Moramid. David Oliver Mornan. Karen Elizabeth O'Brien. Miriam Nora O'Brien. Ruth Mary O'Callaghan. Seamus Morris O'Callaghan. Shane Anthony O'Callaghan. Sinead Teresa O'Donnell. Avril O'Driscoll. Jack James O'Grady. Miriam Josephine O'Leary. Abigail O'Mani. Rasa O'Mani. Sinead Pauline Breda Pierce. Pierre Sébastien Ponchon. Aoife Marie Rogers. Mairead Mary Sheridan. Ellen Catherine Shields. Alison Spillane. Aoife Una Sugru. Sinead Tagney. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Nutrition and Health Science please stand to receive their ovation. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed their programme in the Department of Biological Sciences and who are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Pharmaceutical Biotechnology, and I would request you to present their parchments to them. James Dagmay Berhanu. David Richard Burke. Rose Eileen Butler, in absentia. Lauren Buttram. Megan Breed Cashin. Joseph Stewart Shannon. Grania Mary Collins. David Corkery. Shannon Ann Croker. Jessica Cronin. Joseph Cronin. Ross Charles Crowley. Edward Robert Delaney. Sasha Dunn. Gif Duru, in absentia. Megan Gallagher. Margaret Magdalena Gocco. Owen Gubbins Clooney. Stephen Patrick Holland. Jennifer Ann Jones. Mark George Carney. Anna Keegan. Laura Kelly. Sean Paul Kennedy. Maya Kiste. Rebecca Mary Una Long. Colin Joseph Lockheed. Orla Madden. Aisling Michele Manley. Louise Eileen McCarthy. Emily Patricia Montague. Aideen Catherine Morahan. Rachel Margaret Moriarty. Aisling Brenda Murphy. Andrew Joseph Murphy. Kelly Marie Murphy in absentia. Leanne Murphy. Monica Murphy. Kaya Murphy Daniels. Laura Jane O'Brien. Sean Finian O'Callaghan. Michele Kate O'Connell. Amy Mary Catherine O'Connor in absentia. Sean Christopher O'Connor. Nicole Lucy O'Donovan. Aisling Kate O'Keefe. Adam Martin O'Leary. Aoife Mairead O'Leary. Laura Mary O'Leary. Rachel Fiona O'Mahony. Louis Palmer. Rachel Ann Pierce in absentia. Katarzyna Pilarska. Cara Mary Gwendolyn Powell. Emily Jane Purcell. Jack Brian Redmond. Fergal Thomas Reid. Evelyn Shortall. Lisa Marie Tobin. Sinead Maria Walsh. Alison Walsh in absentia. Renz Kyle Ibanez. Would the graduates of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Pharmaceutical Biotechnology please stand to receive their ovation. I call on the President of the Institute, Dr. Barry O'Connor, to initiate the procedure for the award of Doctor of Philosophy in the Department of Biological Sciences.
Again, from the PhD point of view, a special tribute and special event for our PhD graduates, and I'm sure their supervisors here as well, seeing the end of the road. So, tasnome ascoelge, so har ceann Institute, agus a harfa an ódrás a hamna to réir alta chuige trí deachtam chailíochtaí agus starfú chailíochta. Idicus agus a leon stim blion cábil sa dóiag, Burnuin came Dr. Le Fiarsúnocht, and we go through the names, Kenneth Patrick Graham, Antonia Michele Valerio, Thomas William Rice. On behalf of the Institute and by virtue of the authority delegated to it under the Section 53 of the Qualifications and Quality Assurance Education and Training Act of 2012, I hereby confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on Kenneth Patrick Graham, Antonia Michele Valerio, and Thomas William Rice. So we'll take them now one in order.
I have the honour to present Kenneth Patrick Graham for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Helena Stack and Dr. Rosemary Ray had the privilege of being Kenneth's supervisors. The title of Kenneth's PhD thesis is Isolation, Identification and Characterization of Enterococcus faecilis isolates for the generation of multifunctional bioactive peptides from milk. Ken Green graduated with a first-class honours degree in Nutrition and Health Science from CIT in 2015 and then commenced his PhD in October. One of the outstanding findings of his thesis was the discovery of multifunctional bioactive peptides that could be further developed as food ingredients for the purpose of conferring health benefits. His thesis generated 5 first-author manuscripts for international journals in the field of his PhD project, all of which are at various stages of the publication process, with 2 already in print. Ken has also presented his results at several international conferences. Supervisors. May please rise. I have the honour to present Antonia Valerio for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Professor Aidan Coffey and Professor Jim O'Mahony had the privilege of being Antonio's supervisors. The title of Antonio's PhD thesis is Crystallographic Studies on Host Interacting Proteins of phage K virion, and Antonio is in absentia. I have the honour to present Thomas William Rice for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Professor Aidan Coffey and Dr. Maura Begley had the privilege of being Thomas's supervisors. The title of Thomas' PhD thesis is Characterization of heteromethentative lactic acid bacteria and their application to beverage fermentations with emphasis on mannitol production. One of the outstanding features of his thesis was the discovery and characterization of the unusual hypersugar converting strain of Leuconoctic citrum, which could potentially be used to lower the sugar content in fermented foods and beverages. Tom Rice from Cove, County Cork, graduated with a first-class honours degree in biomedical science from CIT UCC in 2014. He then worked as a research assistant on a safe food project in CIT before starting his PhD in the Department of Biological Sciences in February 2015. His thesis generated 5 first-author and 3 second-author manuscripts for the top international journals in the field of his PhD project, all of which are at various stages of the publication process, with 4 already in print. He also presented his results at several international conferences.
This concludes this part of the meeting for the purpose of conferring awards on the students of our institute. I now call on the President of the Institute, Dr. Barry O'Connor, to address you.
Thank you, Michael. As I was listening there to people in absentia, colleagues would have heard this story before, but it's a true story. In another institution, a guy who's going through the names like that, sort of John Murphy in absentia, Tony Murphy in absentia, Mary Murphy in absentia, and the next name was, we said, Tom Jones or whatever, and the lecturer calling out the names knew where Tom Jones was, so it was Tom Jones. He didn't say in absentia, he said in California, because he knew where he was. Anyway, tá fáid róg léir isteach an so, Tróna agus tres lé maríis leis na céimthe an so, os ar góir amach, as an éocht tá déanta goibh, as an aistir fada tá críochna goibh, nó tosna go fiúmhain le bheith an sár maidin. Everybody here this morning, every graduate here has come their own individual and separate pathway to be it PhD or be it a degree here within the institute. Some people are accomplished their qualifications while they were working. Some came straight from school and have all turned out as amazing graduates here, amazing ambassadors. So maybe give a bull of bass to our fantastic group of graduates this morning. No, I won't keep you too long because I know that there are lunch appointments booked all over town, and I could do with a bit of lunch myself, I suppose, as well. But it is worth celebrating what has happened here this morning. Certainly the Irish food industry is going to be safe for at least another generation, given the quality of the graduates here this morning. But I suppose what singles out our CIT programs here is the relevance of the academic and professional training that each one of our graduates and all our graduates get over the course of their time here in CIT. And even if we go as far as our new doctors here this morning, their projects, their theses are on matters that are vitally important and of vital interest to the food industry in Ireland and internationally. And I guess one of the bedrocks of that is the fact that we currently have over 50 professional bodies accrediting our degrees here in CIT, be they degrees in accounting, in engineering, in civil engineering, structural engineering, chemical engineering, in our biomedical science degree, which is accredited by the Institute of MedLab Consultants, and so on. So what that points to is that our degrees are relevant the whole time. So what that means in practical terms from the point of view of these excellent CIT ambassadors and graduates here this morning is that your qualifications are mobile. And if the qualifications are mobile, you're mobile as well. So your qualifications are recognised and accepted by professional bodies on a worldwide basis. And that is a feature of every programme here in CIT. We operate under what are known as the European Standards and Guidelines, which are the EU-wide standards for academic quality. And one of the objectives that they set in 2015 is that every student, every graduate of every university, third level institution should have a work placement. And again, that is something which is central to what we do here in CIT, right across the board in practically every programme of study that we put in place. And again, the HEA, who are our local Lords and Masters, they also are now insisting on what they call employability statements for every programme. Again, not a bother to us because we've been doing that for years. We don't get a programme does not get off the ground here unless there is a need for it in the community, in industry, in business. And we make no apologies about that. And again, the proof of the pudding there is the fact that you know, or as Michael would have mentioned earlier, 96% of our graduates are either in further education or in employment. And I guess, you know, we're talking about the further education side of it. The word for a degree in Irish is came. I guess came, it's a step. So, you know, I know it took you 3, 4, 5 years to make this particular step, but the game isn't over yet. There are CPD, continuing professional development courses, there are masters, there are PhDs to be earned and won. But in reality, in all our programs here this morning are technology and science based. So being technology based, being science based, they're going to change, and they're going to change very rapidly over the next number of years as technology improves, as artificial intelligence takes over and so on, it's up to you then to stay in touch with the technology, stay up to date. And as an institute, we'd only be delighted to help you to keep up to date, be it through online programs, or as I say, coming back doing masters, or taking advantage of blended learning options. So we are here, and it doesn't have to be here in CIT. You can do it elsewhere as well, but just keep an eye on that. Like, okay, celebrate today, and celebrate for the next few weeks maybe, but down the line, just keep the eye open for further opportunities to develop your skills and your. And again, the whole idea of staying relevant, because we put a lot of effort into being relevant here, particularly through our my colleagues here on the platform across the institute. So again, you can help us with that, and we'll come back to that later on. But I think for the graduates in front of here, maybe I might ask you to do one thing. If you can stand up and turn around and applaud your financiers at the back, people who supported you for the last number of years. So would you stand up and give a bull of boss to your financial supporters at the back there? Right, I think the drinks are on the graduates tonight, folks, right? They are paying. I guess in terms of where the Institute is developing over the next few years, you'll have heard talk at the Munster Technological University, which is the next step in the evolution of technological education and training in the country. We are, as you know, in the process of merging with IT Tralee to form that technological university. And again, a technological university will be doing what we're doing here this morning, producing graduates who will be the leaders of industry, the leaders of the community. We're not producing worker bees for the multinationals. We're producing graduates, professionals, scientists, engineers, marketeers and so on, who will actually lead these industries and keep these industries here in the Cork region. Michael mentioned there the STEM Southwest, which is a development that, again, CIT has spearheaded with industries in the Cork region and in the Southwest region generally, Cork and Kerry, to ensure that there's a talent pipeline here to keep these multinationals here in Cork, to develop the smaller enterprises, the SMEs, who will not just sell their products and services and a consultancy into the multinationals, but who will be able to expand on a worldwide basis. So again, looking at the high quality of graduates we have here this morning, and we had another big session earlier with our engineers. I think the Southwest region is safe, but it's only safe because we have good graduates like you. We have good, inspired parents at the back of the hall who would have encouraged a lot of you to come to CIT in 3, 4, 5 years ago. So that's part of the operation we have here. We're committed to developing the community, to developing CIT. And I suppose when we're talking about community, the colleagues are here on the platform, and if we're in another institution, we'd be doing all this in Latin, which was just never translated. But what actually happens is, by coming up here and by having our faculty talked out in their full refinery, as Jackie Healy would say, here on the stage, is welcoming our graduates into the CIT community as graduates. You know, you've been part of the community over the years that you've been here, and a respected part of the community of CIT, because what we do it in partnership between staff, students, admin, lab support and so on, our professional staff. So it's a partnership. But now that partnership moves on to another level. You are now part of the graduates. You are now part of what we do from a professional point of view. And I suppose maybe just get the retaliation in first from that point of view. When you do make your first million, remember where it started. Or if you want to make a donation after the first $500,000, we'll, as I said, we'll name a laboratory after you, or we'll name a classroom after you, or even part of the students' unit complex here, we'll name it after you. But seriously, we need you guys, when you go out, and you've gone out now into the outside world, as we call it, we need you to stay in touch with CIT and keep us relevant. Because you'll be out there working with companies, or maybe developing your own companies with new technology, new scientific forays into industry. You need to come back and tell us what's happening and what trends you see coming down the line. And whether that's coming back to get a master's degree for yourselves or to keep us informed so that the next generation, the next group of our graduates that will be coming out here in 5-10 years' time, that they will be as well informed as you are in terms of being ready to take on the challenges of, be it the pharma industry or the food industry or industry generally here in the Cork region, because we need that to stay relevant, and we want to be relevant. For all that, as Brendan called out there earlier, and Donna also, our 3 PhD graduates this morning have already published internationally. So, we are well ahead of the posse on the research side as well. And research is very, very important for us. Ambrose Fury here in the Department of Physical Sciences, his laboratory got the Irish Lab of the Year award this year. No small feat, given the amount of footfall we have in the labs around here and the amount of work that goes on there. So again, it goes back to relevance, and we'd like you guys to stay relevant from our point of view. Again, I would say, going out into the industry, especially if it's your first job, stay connected with CIT through the Alumni Association, through the colleagues you have sitting around you, through our faculty here on the stage and across the institute. It is really important to get a start. And no better people than the CIT graduates all over the world who will tip you off as to what jobs are out there, what companies to work for, or even possibly more importantly, what companies not to work for in your first job. And they're out there willing to help. There's a huge, as you know yourselves here in CIT, we have a fairly decent old community spirit going, and that carries on into our graduates. And you're now our graduates, but as I say, stay in touch, be it through the faculty LinkedIn or through other social media. Stay in touch with people who are out there ahead of you, and they'd be delighted to help you out, help you on your way, and also delighted to hire you in many cases. And I go back to it again, it goes back to the fact that the training and the education that you've got here is relevant. It's relevant to industry, and we don't make any apologies for that. And that is why, like I say, your degrees are mobile, your qualifications are mobile, and therefore you will be mobile as well to travel out and to take up leadership positions in industry. And we have people in leadership roles right across the sector in Ireland and internationally, all CIT graduates. So, fág me mar sin tres léim livrís as an écht atá déantagah, écht móra, agus feicsib siar an láso le bród, agus bela began in cuachomha. Tá sib donna machanis, tá sib réig, chun dolig ober, agus chun mar kinri sa seramo. For us, we're very, very proud here. I know yourselves as graduates are proud. Your parents and financiers at the back of the hall are proud, and I'm sure very relieved as well. But the proudest people in Gantiu, the proudest people here this morning are us here and our colleagues right across the institute, to see such an amazing group of graduates going out who will be CIT ambassadors, and that you're well trained, well prepared for the outside world. So we are the proudest people here in the room, and guarantee you that. So well done to you all, and really thank you very, very much for choosing CIT. And maybe a small commercial, just to say, because it'll be killed otherwise, in terms of open days. Well, Maritime College open is on the 7th of November. And here in CIT, if you have other people who want to come back into CIT or come to CIT, or open day here is on the 15th of November, Friday, the Crawford College of Art and Design, 15, 16 November, and CSM on the 16th of November. And maybe just to finish up as well, I'd like to give an old sports report every year, and we haven't done too bad this year in terms of the Cork under 20 footballers. Were basically fed and watered and managed out of CIT, and half the players are CIT as well. With Keith Ricken, who's officers above there, Con Burns, lecturer who was their S&C man for the year. So most of the management team of Cork under 20 were CIT. And again, if you saw in the county championship there lately, Imokilly won 3 in a row. Again, half the team there were CIT graduates, including the great Bill Cooper, John Cronin, Paddy Sull, Millerick, and a load more, all CIT graduates. And even last Sunday, we can still claim a few county medals in the football through the leaders like Paul Kerrigan, who's a CIT graduate as well. So we're doing a bit for Cork GA as well, and we have Cian O'Neill now taking over as the Cork football coach for the coming year. So as I say, as CIT graduates, you will see CIT people winning sports awards, not just here in Cork, but worldwide as well, particularly throw rowers. So that's the sports over. I actually can't finish up without paying compliment to Professor Jim O'Malley, who gave 2 sellout performances here last Thursday night to show what kind of a multidisciplinary team we have. Jim put on an amazing show on the story of Frank Sinatra, written, composed, sung, accompanied by himself. An amazing researcher, an amazing teacher, and sell-out shows on Frank Sinatra. So if you're looking for someone to lighten up the night in terms of a performance, it just shows you the quality of staff we have here. So Professor Jim O'Malley, folks, a bowl of bass for them for a fantastic event. And believe me, when Jim has the hat on, you would know him from Frank, you know. He's the head off him. So, Cogadigus Rish, as we said, there's a function on later on here now, tea and good sandwiches and so on. But again, thank you very, very much for coming to CIT. Spread the word. It's a great place to study, a great place to work, and a great place to make lifelong friendships. So, could mil mágah agus buí tanmh as an lá.
So now, everybody, we're heading towards the conclusion. Thank you, President. I want to thank all who were involved in the organisation of today's event. It went exceptionally well, and credit is due to all involved. As the President has indicated, we have a reception now in the West Atrium where there'll be tea, coffee, sandwich, some cake and so on and so forth. So we'd be delighted to meet you there. This meeting is now concluded. On behalf of the President, I'd like to invite our newly conferred PhD graduates and their supervisors to join him in leading the academic procession. I'd ask you all to rise, please, while the academic procession leaves the hall. Best wishes and thanks to you all.
Please be seated for a few moments. I would ask you to show your appreciation for our musicians. I'm sure you agree that their musical presentation greatly added to the dignity of the occasion. I would also like to thank all the conferring committee members, the staff of the various services at CIT who ensured through their hard work today and over the last few weeks that the conferring was undertaken smoothly. This is a very special day for you, the graduates, and as the President mentioned, you shouldn't forget your parents, partners, as I'm sure they all sacrificed an awful lot to get you here today. So, another Bula Blus. Now I would like to ask our guests to remain seated for a few more moments while the graduates depart the auditorium for group photographs. There will be plenty of opportunities for individual photographs afterwards, and individual photographs will be taken in the James Barry Exhibition Centre with queuing for the marquee, which is situated on the main footpaths of the original building. So if the graduates will be led up by stewards, and once they're gone we can move. Again, there will be light refreshments served in the West Atrium, tea, coffee, sandwiches, and you're all more than welcome to join us. Thank you.